we're coming at this through the angle of longevity, because basically my estimation, and you know, I think Sana has gotten to our community because she agrees, what's going to happen in longevity in the next 5 years is going to make the internet, like the .com boom, look like a kid's, you know, tea party. Once this actually takes off, it's going to happen so fast, it's going to make your head spin. What's going to happen here?
My thought, Elias, on that is that, you know, it kind of confers a responsibility on us that, of course, you know, I think like the way you came at it, the way I came at it was that I begin to see that there is a great work that we could do if we had the means to do it. And so I come at it from that standpoint, like, what could I accomplish? What could I build? What could I create? How could I improve this planet if I had those extra decades of life? And so that, rather than just, oh, I just want extra life so that I can just do whatever I want, I can sit around and whatever, watch TV all day or just, you know, party all the time or whatever. You know, I didn't come at it from that standpoint. I came at it from the standpoint of, well, I could see all of this potential of things that we could do to make this world a better place. But one of the primary obstacles that we've got to achieving that is that we only live 80 years, and that's not enough time, you know? So it circles back to that, you know, I think it needs to start with the people who have a worthy vision that would justify them living for centuries. But of course, my thought is that probably people that are going to be pursuing that are also going to have a philosophical orientation to life and reality that makes them predisposed towards doing something of value, doing something constructive with that. If they attain you know, decades of extra life. The way I used to put it was, well, let's see, I will stay, and it's kind of following, what did you call it? Maybe you'll refresh me on the terminology, but if we can live X number of years until these
longevity escape velocity. Longevity escape velocity.
My version,
that's Aubrey de Grey, his term. Okay. You ever see him? He's got this big, he's got more gray hair and bigger beard than you. So
well, I can work on that.
But he's not as handsome.
No.
I mean, what can I say? But I used to say, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to strive to get to be 100. And if I can just reverse, you know, because in the biblical stories, it was the antediluvian patriarchs that could live a factor of 10 longer. You know, Lamech lived to be 777. Methuselah lived to be 969, right? So that was the range. I mean, literally a factor of 10. So I thought, okay, and then right after the flood, the lifespan was reduced to 120 years, according to the biblical narrative, which most of us in the Western world were raised in some extent. So I always kind of used that. And I said, well, what I'm going to do is if we can get to that 120 years, that'll give me some extra, that'll buy me some time that we can maybe get to the 900 years.
Right.
So in a way, I was formulating that idea of longevity escape velocity, you know, 20 or 30 years ago, thinking that way. So it's satisfying that there's actually a term for that now.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is exciting stuff. I love hearing this.
Oh, great. Yeah, no, thank you. And thank you, Sanaz and Robert, for inviting me to be involved. And so, yeah, happy to work on this, you know, however we sort of, because like I said, it sounds like from, at least in the schedule, if it's as it is, I'm going to kind of, I guess I'm starting it off, Robert, with a bit of this longevity framework that I'll be bringing in, and then for everyone else to pick up on. So I'm going to kind of focus on reporting, I guess, so to speak, like what the science is now, some of the philosophy and how it weaves in, but I'm going to kind of leave it to, you know, a lot of the other speakers who are maybe more deeply even in the philosophical and even the esoteric, if you will, of how that all sort of plays out. And I'll just talk a little bit more about like what's actually happening in the world, because as I said, there's a lot of people don't even realize what's actually happening on the scientific and the research side. And I think I want to weave in, because again, one of the reasons AI is going to be so powerful is because AI is going to be able to do the computations for the cellular rejuvenation systems that humans can't do right now. So when the AI gets to the point where, because human cells are so complex, we actually can't do the longevity interventions because we just simply can't calculate the parameters that would be need to, because we have 40 trillion cells. All of us on this call are 40 trillion cells. It's a lot of cells to manage. So how do you create personal, and you have to create things that are personalized, because a lot of this is going to be like, we're going to create an exact therapeutic based upon your specific genetics, your microbiome, your cellular function, your everything. And then it'll be a personalized intervention that will be injected specifically into your body with all of your programming. And you're going to need a lot of powerful AI systems to be able to do that, do those computations.
A lot of folks out there really scared of the AI thing. I'm not scared of it. I realize, you know, it's probably got, like all things, there's a potential for tremendous good and there's also potential for evil. So it's just that, you know, if the good people ignore it, though, that means it's going to have a greater propensity to be used for things we don't like. Whereas if the people, I think, who are at least, you know, have some kind of a moral or ethical basis, are paying attention to it, utilizing it creatively and so on, that will be the antidote to it becoming another tool of suppression or tyranny or the imposition of totalitarianism, or, you know, some of the things that people are, and I think rightfully concerned about, the misuse. But yeah, I mean, everything can be misused. My interest in getting further knowledge about the whole AI phenomena is so that, yeah, that I can learn more about the potential good uses of it. And it sounds like you're coming from a similar place, Elias.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's why we want to have a seat at the table. That's why we're building the Heal Collective, because we want to have a seat. Because again, a lot of people are just saying, this is bad, stay away, don't go there. And our thought is, well, no, if you don't have a seat at the table, you're seceding that territory to whoever wants it.
Exactly what I'm saying.
That's stupid, because it's like, if we don't have a seat at the table, then the people who want to manipulate this and maybe implement totalitarian regimes with it, they're gonna dive in, right? But like, so let's dive in ourselves and have a seat at that table. And that's why we're building this whole collective. And we already have, you know, dozens of members that we're pulling in who are all like major thought leaders, company owners, investors. Like, we're really going to go all the way on this thing. We're going to make this a very large program.